Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Blue Velvet is a 1986 mystery thriller film that was written and directed by David Lynch. It stars Kyle MacLachlan, Isabella Rossellini, Dennis Hopper, and Laura Dern. The name of the film comes from the 1951 song of the same name. The storyline goes that a college student named Jeffrey Beaumont returns to his idyllic hometown of Lumberton to manage his father's hardware store, where his father has been hospitalized. While he walks through a grassy meadow near the family home, he finds a severed human ear. After an initial investigation, lead police detective John Williams advises the young man not to speak to anyone about the case as they investigate it further. The detective tells Jeffrey that he can't divulge any information at all about the case that is ongoing, but Jeffrey is terribly curious about it. Detective Williams has a high school-aged daughter named Sandy Williams, and she becomes acquainted with Jeffrey and tells him that she knows quite a bit about the case from overhearing her father's private conversations about it. She knows that it has to do with a nightclub singer named Dorothy Valens, who lives in an older apartment building that's near the Beaumont home. Curiosity is just getting the best of Jeffrey, and with Sandy's help, he decides to find out more about the woman at the center of the case by actually breaking into her apartment while she's at work. What Jeffrey finds after he does this is completely unfamiliar to him. This is an entire world that he just doesn't understand. But it's one that he's unable to deny the lure that it creates in his mind. All this despite the inherent dangers that are associated with it. The screenplay for the movie had been passed around multiple times in the late 1970s and early 1980s, with several of the major studios completely declining to do it due to its strong sexual and violent content. The director Lynch made some attempts at developing it into a more personal story so that it would be more likely to be produced. The independent studio, De Laurentiis Entertainment Group, owned at that time by Italian film producer Dino De Laurentiis, agreed to finance and produce the movie. The movie's story originated from three ideas that began to crystallize in the filmmaker's mind over a period of time starting back in 1973. The first idea was only a feeling that he had, and the title Blue Velvet. The second idea was an image of a severed human ear that was laying in a field. He didn't know why that came up to be an ear, but he knew it had to be some body part. He didn't know why he made it an ear, but that's what popped into his head. He felt like the idea of the ear having a hole in it and going into the head that goes straight to the mind felt perfect for the movie. And the third image that was prominent to him was Bobby Vinton's classic rendition of the song Blue Velvet, and what came with the song. It set a mood, a time, and things that were of that time. In the scene where Dorothy appears naked outside was inspired by a real-life experience that the director had during his childhood, when he and his brother saw a naked woman walking down a neighborhood street at night near their home. The experience was so traumatic to the young Lynch that it made him cry, and he just never forgot that experience. The director spent 2 years writing 2 drafts of the film, which he wasn't very pleased with and that he stated weren't very good. The problem with it was that it exposed all the unpleasantness of the film, but nothing else. A lot of the movie just wasn't there at that point. It took numerous rewrites to get it correct. Dennis Hopper felt like the director had kind of a strange quirk that he did while filming was going on. He wouldn't use the F word at all, even when it was in the script. He would simply point to that line in the script and he would say, "that word." Dennis Hopper thought it was hilarious. He realized that he can write it in a script, but he just won't say it. Roy Orbison initially rejected the director's request to use the song "In Dreams" in the brothel scene. Lynch found a way to legally maneuver and use this song anyway. Orbison didn't discover this until the song was already in the movie, and he saw it at a California movie theater. Orbison eventually filmed a video for the song that was produced by Lynch himself, with footage being used from the movie. Molly Ringwald was originally offered the role of Sandy, but her mother objected to her starring in this very graphic film. She just didn't want her to do it at all, and so she talked her out of it. Laura Dern was then cast instead. The prosthetic ear that's found by Kyle MacLachlan's character at the beginning of the film has remained in the possession of its creator and makeup supervisor, Jeff Goodwin, despite a lot of claims to the contrary. The ear was originally modeled from Goodwin's own ear, until the director remarked that it looked just like a child's ear. It was too small. It was then remodeled on the production manager's ear, Fred C. Caruso, which had more adult characteristics to it. Isabella Rossellini claims that during the initial filming of the ritualistic scene between her and Dennis Hopper, the director wouldn't stop laughing off screen at the entire weirdness of it all. Though she was really baffled at the time as to why he was laughing, she says that now to this day, if she ever sees that scene, she starts laughing herself uncontrollably because of the oddness in it. I don't see where they're coming up with the humor in it. It's pretty intense and baffling as you watch it. And in that scene, Miss Rossellini actually was naked under her velvet robe. She didn't let her partner, Dennis Hopper, know that until the cameras started to roll. As he got in position in front of her, he got the shock of his life. What made it even that much stranger was that this was the first scene and the first time that the two of them had ever worked together. That's definitely something that'll stick in your head forever. If you've never seen Blue Velvet, take the time to watch it, but be prepared. It's a pretty intense movie, and it may not be for everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.